Good morning. Beloved, this is not just another sunrise, it is a divine appointment, a sacred moment where heaven meets earth, where the cries of the faithful rise like incense, and the Almighty leans in to listen. Today, we gather in the stillness of the morning, not out of routine, but out of holy desperation, holy expectation, and unwavering faith that the God who parts seas, who multiplies loaves, and who raises dry bones to life is still moving, still providing, and still working miracles in the lives of his children. This morning, we lift up a special cry, a cry for provision, for financial breakthroughs, for business ideas to flourish, for debt to be canceled, for doors that have long been shut to suddenly burst open. And let me tell you, there is power in prayer. There is power when the saints gather and call on the name of Jehovah Jireh, our provider. You see, prayer is not just a spiritual habit. Prayer is a weapon. Prayer is the highway through which heaven's resources travel. Time and again, we have witnessed the miraculous unleashed by the persistent prayers of the faithful. A woman who sowed her last dollar into someone else's need found herself debt-free just months later through unexpected blessings. A small business owner on the brink of bankruptcy cried out to God at 3 a.m. and by morning received a contract offer that tripled their income. A single parent, drowning in bills and anxiety, stood in the gap with nothing but faith, and God brought help through ways no human could orchestrate. Beloved, these are not fairy tales, these are testimonies, living proof that our God is not limited by economy, inflation, or bank accounts. He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. He is not bound by your credit score or past mistakes. His supply is supernatural. His economy is heavenly. And when we pray in faith, when we declare his promises and stand on his word, mountains move, chains break, poverty bows, and favor finds us even in famine. Today, you are not just sitting in a church or tuning into a broadcast. You are standing on the edge of breakthrough. God has seen your struggle, your late nights, your silent tears. He knows the weight of what you are carrying, but he did not bring you this far to abandon you. This morning, he is stirring the heavens. He is shifting things in the unseen. He is preparing divine appointments, unexpected phone calls, supernatural ideas, and streams in the desert. So open your heart, shake off the weariness, lift your eyes to the hills, where your help comes from. Today is the day we lay our fears at the altar and pick up faith like fire. Today is the day we declare, Lord, bless the work of my hands, establish my income, breathe life into my finances. Are you ready? Are you expectant? Because faith is the currency of heaven. And this morning, heaven is listening. Let us step into this moment. Let us press in. Let us believe like never before. Are you ready to begin in prayer, believing that today could be the day everything changes? Dear Heavenly Father, I come before you this morning with my heart wide open, my spirit pressing in, and my voice trembling with both desperation and hope. crying out for your divine provision over my finances and the work of my hands. Lord, I am not here to speak in riddles or cloak my need behind polite words. I am here because I need you to show up in my situation with power and authority. You see every dollar I do not have, every bill that looms like a mountain, every door that has been slammed shut. You see the late nights of worry, the anxious pacing, the mental calculations that never quite add up. But you, O God, are the master of multiplication, the king of overflow, and the God who makes a way where there seems to be none. Father, I speak to you not as a beggar, but as a beloved child, because you said in your word that I am the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. You said that you delight in the prosperity of your servant. You promised that you would supply all my needs according to your riches in glory, not mine. And I choose today to take you at your word. I refuse to be ruled by fear. I refuse to be a prisoner of lack. I reject the lie that says this is all there is for me, because I know that you are able to do exceedingly, abundantly above all I can ask or imagine, and I am asking. Father, I am asking boldly. I am asking persistently. I am asking with the authority you gave me as your child. Lord, I lay before you my business, my ideas, my job, my dreams, and even my failures. Breathe upon them. Let every plan that is aligned with your will be ignited by heaven's fire. Let every venture, every project, every seed I have sown begin to bear fruit in due season. Open doors that no man can shut. Send divine connections and supernatural opportunities that I could never orchestrate on my own. Let the work of my hands be established, and let my income be a reflection of your favor, not the limits of this world. I pray against every spirit of poverty, lack, and delay. I cancel every assignment of the enemy sent to drain my resources or sabotage my efforts. In the mighty name of Jesus, I declare that lack has no legal right to torment me. I break every generational curse of financial struggle. I break the spirit of just enough and call forth more than enough to bless my family, more than enough to bless others, more than enough to finance kingdom work. For I am not just believing for breakthrough for myself, but so I can be a blessing to others, a channel through which your abundance flows. Father, for every bill that is due, for every deadline that presses, for every financial weight that threatens to break my back, I place it in your hands. I refuse to carry what you already bore. You took the crown of thorns, so I would not have to live under the curse of sweat and toil alone. You said that if I seek first your kingdom and righteousness, all these things would be added unto me, and I am seeking. Lord, I am seeking with every fiber of my being. I am choosing to trust you, even when the numbers say I should not. I am choosing to believe in harvest even when the soil looks barren. I ask you to awaken divine wisdom within me. Holy Spirit, show me how to steward what I already have with excellence. Give me strategies that are birthed in heaven. Give me discernment for decisions. Speak to me in dreams, in whispers, in the still moments. Let me hear you clearly as I move forward, not with fear, but with fierce, unshakable faith. Let every step I take be in sync with the rhythm of your purpose. Lord, I also lift up those who are barely hanging on financially, those whose cupboards are empty, whose accounts are overdrawn, whose hearts are heavy. Stretch forth your hand and meet them where they are. Release miraculous provision. Cancel debts. Send unexpected checks. Favor in interviews. Divine acceleration in job applications. And business deals that come through with no explanation but God. Show up in ways that make people say, "Only the Lord could have done this." I thank you that you are not just the God of enough, you are the God of overflow. I thank you that the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous. I thank you that I am stepping into a new season, not a season of scraping by, but a season of abundance, promotion, and overflow. A season where I do not borrow but lend, where I am the answer to prayers I used to pray. And in this very moment, Father, I shift my posture from worry to worship. I lift my hands as an act of surrender and faith. I choose to believe before I see. I declare your promises louder than my problems. I call things that are not as though they were. I plant my feet on the rock of your word, and I will not be moved, because I know that what you have spoken will not return void. You are faithful, you are able, you are good, and I trust you, not just with my eternity, but with my income, not just with my soul, but with my strategy, not just with my Sunday, but with my Monday, my paycheck, my bank account, and my business, because you are Lord over all of it. And so I continue to pray, continue to believe, continue to press in, because my breakthrough is on the way. And even now, Lord, as I breathe in the quiet of this morning, I sense a shift taking place, not in the economy around me, not in the systems of this world, but deep within the soil of my spirit, a holy stirring, a divine momentum, a weight of your glory descending upon this area of my life that has long felt barren, overlooked, or defeated. You are moving, even when I do not yet see the evidence. You are aligning things in the background, touching the hearts of decision makers, releasing favor in places I have not even stepped into yet. You are orchestrating divine appointments and rerouting delays into destinies. You are preparing not just the blessing for me, but preparing me for the blessing. God, I know that sometimes the waiting feels like silence. Sometimes the struggle feels like punishment, but I am choosing to see this season through spiritual eyes. I am choosing to believe that even in what looks like lack, you are teaching me how to lean, that even in what feels like loss, you are proving your loyalty, that even in the valley of financial strain, you are molding something eternal within me, faith that cannot be shaken, peace that surpasses understanding, a testimony that will glorify your name in the lives of others. And for that, I praise you. I praise you because you are not a man that you should lie. I praise you because you are not pacing the heavens in worry. You are seated on the throne, enthroned above inflation, above recession, above bank reports and financial analysts. You are not reacting, you are reigning. And because you are my shepherd, I shall not want. Because you are my source, I will not lack. I do not look to man. I do not place my trust in titles or trends. I place my trust in the one who fed 5,000 with a boy's lunch, the one who filled jars with the finest wine when the party had run dry, the one who told Peter to cast a net again where he had failed before and brought in such a catch that the boat nearly sank. I stand on those miracles not as distant stories, but as living reminders of what you are still able to do. If you did it then, you can do it now. If you provided for them, you will provide for me. If you called Lazarus from the grave, you can resurrect my finances. You can breathe life into dead ends, into broken budgets, into stagnant plans. You can bring beauty out of bankruptcy, purpose out of poverty, power out of pressure. Nothing is too hard for you, Lord. So I come boldly, yet broken, bold in faith, but honest in need. I am not afraid to bring you my empty jars. I am not ashamed to show you where I have run dry, because I know that when I pour myself out before you, you fill me with something I could never earn: grace, favor, provision that overflows. I do not want riches that fade or success that steals my soul. I want prosperity rooted in purpose. I want provision that carries your presence. I want income that advances your kingdom and multiplies joy, not just wealth. Bless my hands, Lord. Let everything I touch carry the fragrance of heaven. Let ideas come from divine revelation. Let strategies be led by the Spirit. Teach me to honor you with every dollar, every decision, every investment. Show me how to tie the knot from obligation, but from joy. Show me how to give as a declaration of trust. Teach me to steward what I have like it already belongs to heaven, 'cause it does. And God, if there is anything in me hindering the flow of your provision, any mindset of fear, any habit of waste, any idol of self-reliance, reveal it and remove it. Cleanse my heart, purify my motives, make me a vessel fit for overflow. I do not want to just ask for blessings, I want to be trusted with them. I want to carry wealth with wisdom. I want to build with integrity. I want to rise with humility. Let my business be a beacon of light. Let my career be a platform for your glory. Let my income be a testimony that shouts, "This is what the Lord has done." I pray now for every contract that is pending, every payment that is delayed, every door that has been locked. I speak to them in the Spirit and command them to be loosed in the name of Jesus. I declare that what was withheld is now released. What was stuck is now moving. What was bound is now breaking free. I call forth supernatural acceleration over every financial promise. What would have taken years, you can do in weeks. What man said is impossible, you declare finished. Holy Spirit, flood every crevice of my situation with your presence. Go into the meeting rooms before I arrive. Sit at the table where my name is being discussed. Walk into the inboxes where proposals are waiting. Speak to the hearts of those who hold keys. Let favor track me down like a river finding its path. Let me walk into rooms I never campaigned for. Let my name be brought up in circles I did not even know existed. Because when you promote, no man can demote. When you provide, no hand can block it. I thank you in advance, not because I see it yet, because I know it is coming. I do not have to wait for the miracle to worship. I do not have to wait for the bank account to sing praise. I bless you now because you are good regardless. I bless you because you are faithful whether I am in surplus or in need. I bless you because my worship is not rooted in results, but in relationship. You are my God. You are my Father. You are my sustainer. And I trust you completely. Let today be marked by your provision. Let today be the day the phone rings. The message comes. The opportunity presents itself. Let today be the turning point, the day something breaks in the spirit realm. The day your child begins to reap what has been sown in tears. Let today carry the evidence of answered prayer. Let today overflow with heaven's fingerprints. And as I walk into this day, I do not walk in fear. I do not walk in doubt. I walk in power. I walk in faith. I walk knowing that my provider walks before me, behind me, beside me. I walk with expectation, not anxiety. I walk with praise, not panic. I walk in peace that surpasses understanding and in joy that cannot be stolen, because the one who owns it all holds me in his hand. And as each step carries me forward, Lord, I surrender the weight of what I cannot control and embrace the truth that you are already in my tomorrow. You have gone ahead of me, paved the way, and declared that no weapon formed against my provision shall prosper. I trust not in the economy, nor in the rise and fall of markets, nor in the predictability of paychecks, but in your eternal hand that never runs dry. You are not a seasonal God. You are not a situational provider. You are consistent, unwavering, and limitless. In you, my sustenance is secure not because of what I earn, but because of who you are. So I bring before you, with full transparency, every area of lack that gnaws at my confidence and presses against my peace. I speak your name over unpaid debts, over empty refrigerators, over insufficient accounts. I speak Jehovah Jireh, the Lord will provide over rent that is due, over children's school fees, over car repairs, over groceries, over medical bills, over every detail that tries to rob me of rest. Let your name reign over these needs like a banner of hope, reminding me that my lack is merely a stage for your glory to be revealed. You are my sustainer, and when I feel like I am walking on the edge, barely making it through, it is your grace that steadies my feet. When I feel stretched too thin, it is your mercy that strengthens me. I refuse to live in survival mode when you have called me to live in supernatural abundance. I refuse to walk with a scarcity mindset when you have promised to pour out blessings I cannot contain. Teach me to think like a child of the King. Rewire my thoughts to align with your truth. Remove the fear that whispers, "There won't be enough," and replace it with the declaration, "My God is more than enough." Father, I also bring before you my ideas, those sparks of vision you have planted in me. Some have felt buried beneath discouragement, others shelved by fear of failure. But today, I stir them up again. Today, I dust off the dreams and place them at your feet. Breathe on them. Revive them. Show me which ones are from you and which ones to release. But for those that carry your breath, your blueprint, Your divine assignment, I ask you to send provision for the vision. Let resources align with calling. Let wisdom flow with clarity. Let mentors, partners, and helpers arise. God, ignite innovation in me. Inspire my creativity. Wake me with new solutions. Download blueprints from heaven into my spirit. Give me the boldness to pursue what you have called me to build, and the humility to seek you in every step. Let me not be so focused on the outcome that I forget the one who orchestrates the process. Lead me by your spirit, not by pressure. Guide me by your peace, not by panic. For if you are in it, Lord, it will not fail. If you are leading it, it will bear fruit. Let my work be worship. Let my hustle be holy. Let every hour I pour into my craft, my labor, my business, be infused with divine favor. Protect me from burnout. Protect me from compromise. Remind me that it is not by might nor by power, but by your spirit that success is sustained. Teach me to rest in your sufficiency, even as I press forward in excellence. Let my success be laced with integrity, generosity, and compassion. Let my name carry a reputation of faithfulness and excellence that glorifies you. And God, for the moments when I feel unseen, when my effort feels unnoticed, when progress feels painfully slow, remind me that you see it all. You see the hours I stay up working. You see the sacrifices I make. You see the loyalty I show when others walk away. And you are not unjust. You will not forget the labor of love I offer in faith. Your word says that those who sow in tears will reap with songs of joy. So I hold on to that promise even when the field still looks empty. I believe the harvest is coming, even when I do not yet hear the rustling of breakthrough. I speak favor over my name. I speak peace over my household. I speak growth over my income. I declare that I will walk through this year with increase, with expansion, with opportunities that stretch my faith and reveal your glory. I declare that I will not settle in limitation, but I will rise in your provision, that I will walk boldly in the open doors you create, and that no man, no system, no spiritual opposition will be able to close what you have destined for me. Holy Spirit, search my heart as I navigate this financial journey. If there be pride hiding in my ambition, expose it. If there be fear cloaked in my planning, uproot it. If there be greed masked as vision, purify it. I do not want to build anything apart from you. I do not want success that costs me my soul. Let my motives be pure. Let my desires be shaped by eternity. Help me to live not for accumulation, but for purpose, for impact, for legacy that honors your name. Give me the courage to release what I cannot control, and the patience to wait for what is still unfolding. Give me strength to keep moving when progress feels slow, and discernment to pause when you call me to rest. Remind me, O Lord, that you are not just providing for me, you are developing me, that every delay is discipline, that every closed door is redirection, that every no is a setup for a greater yes. I pray for financial literacy. Father, give me understanding where I have been blind. Give me wisdom where I have walked in assumption. Teach me to manage what I have with excellence. Show me how to save without fear, to invest with wisdom, to spend with purpose, and to give with joy. Let me not fall into the trap of idolizing money, but let me master it so that it never masters me. May every dollar I touch be used to glorify you and bless those around me. I speak to every spirit of comparison that whispers I should be further along. I silence every voice that says others are more successful, more favored, more equipped. I cast down those lies in the name of Jesus. I am not behind, I am right where you have planted me. I am not lacking, I am growing. I am not forgotten, I am being prepared. And in your perfect timing, the fullness of your promise will manifest. I will not miss my moment. I will not forfeit my blessing. I will not despise small beginnings. And in all this, Lord, remind me to keep my eyes on you. Let me not chase provision more than I chase your presence. Let me not love the blessing more than I adore the blesser, because you alone are my portion. You alone are my inheritance. You alone are the treasure I seek above all. Keep me anchored in truth. Keep me walking in obedience. Keep me clothed in humility. Keep me burning with faith. Keep me ready for whatever you have next. Yes, let us continue seamlessly. Heart surrendered, spirit pressing in. And as I remain in this place of intimate surrender, Father, I sense you calling me not only to ask, but to align. Not only to believe, but to become the vessel through which your abundance flows. I want to live not merely with hands open to receive, but with hands stretched forward to bless. Teach me, O Lord, what it truly means to be a steward in your kingdom. Help me to break free from the mindset that measures worth by income, and instead to measure value by impact. Remind me that you are building something eternal in me, something far more precious than profit. You are crafting character, anchoring faith, and preparing me for a life that multiplies blessing far beyond my own household. So, Lord, sanctify the dreams I have for my business, my career, my finances. Let them not be born of ego or insecurity, but of calling and compassion. Purge every ambition that seeks recognition more than righteousness. Reshape every goal that centers on self rather than service. I do not want to rise if it means leaving behind the very people you have called me to lift. I do not want to succeed if it costs me the sweetness of integrity. I want to flourish in a way that pleases you authentically, humbly, purposefully. God, fill every room where decisions about my future are being made. Speak on my behalf when I am not present. Let your favor be like a signature written on every proposal, every application, every pitch. Let your spirit go ahead of me to soften hearts and align resources. Let supernatural positioning replace human striving. And in the moments when I am called to speak or act, give me courage to stand boldly in faith, knowing that I am backed by the very armies of heaven. Father, I thank you for every open door, and I thank you just as much for the closed ones. For I have come to see that rejection is often redirection, that denial is sometimes protection, That delay can be the soil of deeper dependency. And so, I will not curse the detours. I will not despise the slow seasons. For if you are the author of my story, then even the pauses are pregnant with purpose. You are not only guiding my steps, you are guarding my heart. You are not just writing a chapter of financial provision. You are scripting a legacy of trust, of faith, of divine partnership. Help me to be content, but not complacent. Help me to be grateful, but not passive. Let me rise with holy ambition, not for status, but for significance. Let me labor not for a crown that fades, but for the eternal reward of hearing you say, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Let every dollar I earn serve a greater purpose. Let every opportunity I receive carry the weight of responsibility to reflect your light in dark places. Lord, where others may build on sand, let me build on the rock. Where others chase after wind, let me walk with wisdom. Where others compromise to climb, let me remain grounded in truth. Because I know that when you raise up a person, you also sustain them. When you promote, it comes with peace. When you bless, it adds no sorrow. So I wait on your timing. I trust in your process. I embrace your way. Even now, I call forth provision for those around me, for the weary parent who is barely affording food, for the faithful worker who has been overlooked for promotion, for the entrepreneur who has sown tirelessly without harvest. Let the heavens open over them. Lord, let their obedience meet breakthrough. Let the drought end, and the rains of your goodness pour. Lift burdens. Cancel debts. Provide in ways that defy logic and expectation. Let miracles become the new normal. Let testimonies pour from lips that once trembled in anxiety. Let your name be glorified through provision that makes no sense apart from your grace. Teach us that we are not beggars in the kingdom, but heirs, that we do not have to strive for scraps when we are seated at the table of the King. Remind us that we are not forgotten, not by you, not by destiny, not by purpose. And in the waiting, let worship rise, let faith deepen, let character be refined, let compassion grow. Because sometimes what you are doing in us is even greater than what we are asking you to do for us. Sometimes the provision is not just in the answer, but in the transformation that happens while we wait. So I lean into the refining. I yield to the pruning. I surrender to the stretching, knowing it is all part of the preparation for what is coming. I know, Lord, that you are positioning me not only to be blessed, but to be a blessing. So teach me to give freely, even when I have little, to tithe faithfully, even when it is hard, to sow into others' needs, even when mine feel urgent, because generosity is not birthed in surplus, it is born in trust, and I trust you. Father, with the first, with the last, with the overflow, with the in-between, I trust you with it all. Keep building in me a heart that mirrors yours, a heart that sees beyond numbers and sees souls, a heart that sees beyond profits and sees people. Let my business reflect compassion. Let my work ethic reflect Christ. Let my decisions reflect wisdom. Let my finances reflect honor. Let my life reflect you. And when the blessing comes, and I believe it will, keep me anchored, keep me humble. Let me never forget the wilderness you brought me through. Let me never stop testifying of the ways you showed up. Let every breakthrough become a bridge for someone else's faith. Let every increase become an opportunity for impact. Let every dollar earned carry the imprint of heaven. So here I remain, in awe of you, not simply because you can provide, but because you long to. Because you delight in the prosperity of your servant. Because you care not only about my soul, but about my needs. Because you are Father and you are faithful. And so, with every breath, I yield again to the assurance that I am not walking alone through this journey. You are not a distant God who observes from afar, but an ever-present Father who walks beside me through valleys of uncertainty, through tight financial seasons, and through the seemingly unending wait for breakthrough. You are near not only when the answers come swiftly, but even more so when they come slowly, teaching me to cling to you, to lean into you, to listen for the whispers of heaven in the silence of delay. Every morning that I wake up with the burden still unlifted, I choose again to declare your promises. I do not wait until I see it to praise you. I worship you, because you are worthy. Even in the middle of the drought, I give you glory, not as a transaction to receive blessing, but because your presence is the blessing. And I trust that in the secret, quiet places where my cries rise up unseen, you are already moving mountains on my behalf. You are already unlocking provision in places I have never even thought to look. You are already shifting timelines and aligning resources. You are already softening the hearts of those who will bless me. You are already declaring favor over my name in heavenly places. Lord, how precious is the knowledge that you do not just see my needs, you feel them. You are not unmoved by my pain. You are not untouched by my tears. When I worry how the next payment will be made, you do not chastise me, you draw me close. When I wrestle with thoughts of not being enough, you remind me that your grace is sufficient. When I begin to feel ashamed for not having figured it out, you whisper that you are the author of wisdom and that I only need to ask. You do not require perfection. You do not demand performance. You simply ask for faith, a mustard seed of faith, and you promise to meet me there with the miraculous. So here I am, again, in the tension of already and not yet, in the place between promise spoken and promise fulfilled. And though my hands may tremble, I lift them anyway. Though my heart may ache, I open it fully to you. Though the evidence around me may still look like struggle, I choose to walk as one already victorious. Because my confidence is not in the numbers in my account, but in the word you have spoken. My foundation is not in human systems, but in the unshakable kingdom you have invited me to live under. And in this place of waiting, let me never become bitter. Let me never become hardened by comparison or weighed down by jealousy. Let me not resent the blessings I see in others' lives. Instead, train me to rejoice with those who rejoice, knowing that your provision for one is not a subtraction from another. Your table is large. Your resources are endless. There is room enough for us all. So rather than envy, let encouragement rise in me. Rather than resentment, let expectancy rise in me. what you have done for others. I believe you will do for me, in your way, in your time, with your perfect touch. And even as I ask for financial provision, God, I also ask for the kind of heart that knows what to do with it. Dante, just give me increase, give me insight. Dante, just release resources, release revelation. Teach me to walk in financial obedience, to break free from impulsive habits, to discern the difference between wise stewardship and selfish gain. Let my heart never chase after more without asking why. Let me not define success by accumulation, but by alignment with your will. Let me not simply ask you to bless my business or career, but invite you to own it, to lead it, to breathe into every detail of it. And Lord, I lift up not just myself, but every person I am connected to who is in financial distress. For the mother counting coins at the register, for the father hiding worry behind tired eyes, for the student with debts stacking up and dreams put on hold, breathe peace over them now. Let them feel your presence in the midst of the pressure. Let their homes be filled with hope again. Send angels in the form of friends, of strangers, of miraculous provision they never expected. Let their tears water the seeds of tomorrow's testimony. Show them that they are not abandoned, not forgotten, not disqualified. I lift up the unemployed who feel overlooked. I lift up the business owners who've tried everything and still see no growth. I lift up the elderly who fear their retirement is not enough. I lift up the young people who are stepping into an economy that feels impossible. I lift up the single parents, the refugees, the caregivers, the silent givers who pour out to others and go unnoticed. God, you see them all. You value every single one. And I ask you now, meet them in the deepest place of their need. Let miracles multiply where they have only known lack. Let their portion be doubled. Let joy return to their homes. And in the quiet spaces of my soul, Father, show me who I can bless. Open my eyes to someone whose need I can meet. Make me sensitive to divine nudges. Dante, let me become so focused on my own miracle that I forget I may be the miracle someone else is praying for. Let my provision be tied to purpose. Let my increase be tied to impact. Let my heart always beat in sync with yours. I choose now to prophesy over my future. I declare that I will not live in financial fear. I will not be crippled by worry over bills or lack, or what the world predicts. I am anchored in truth. I am rooted in provision. I am standing in faith. I declare that favor is locating me, that divine connections are finding me, that unexpected increase is on its way. I declare that what was delayed is being released, that what was stuck is being loosed, that what was empty is being filled by your hand. Lord, train my ears to hear your direction clearly. If you ask me to pivot, let me not resist. If you prompt me to invest or to save, give me discernment. If you call me to walk away from something that no longer serves your purpose in my life, give me boldness. Let not fear of lack keep me in places you have called me out of. Let not comfort zones rob me of divine assignments. Let not tradition hinder me from receiving new strategies. Teach me that obedience is the fastest path to overflow. And so, I will continue to trust you not just with my worship, but with my wallet, not just with my soul, but with my salary, not just with my Sundays, but with my spreadsheets, because all of it belongs to you, and all of it can be used for your glory. Multiply it. Bless it. Stretch it and sanctify it. Let it serve your people. Let it fund your kingdom. Let it reflect your faithfulness. I do not fear tomorrow, because the one who holds it is the same one who holds me. I do not fear the what-ifs, because your promises are stronger than uncertainty. I do not fear the storms, because you speak peace to waves. And I do not fear the dry seasons, because I have seen you bring water from rocks and manna from heaven. You are the God of provision, and you are my provider. And even now, as I remain in the stillness of your presence, I feel you strengthening my resolve not with temporary comfort, but with eternal assurance. You are reminding me that provision is not just about having money in my hands, but peace in my heart. That true abundance flows from knowing who my source is, not what my source is. It is you, Lord, not the job, not the client, not the market, not the paycheck. These may be vessels you use, but you are the fountain. You are the well that never runs dry. And so I fix my eyes not on the vessel, but on the giver. With this clarity, I ask you to fill every space in my life where fear once lived, every shadow of anxiety, every echo of doubt. Let them be replaced now with the boldness of faith. Where I once questioned if I was enough, I now declare that you are more than enough for me. Where I once worried whether my plans would work out, I now surrender those plans to your higher purposes. Where I once looked at my situation and only saw what was missing, I now look again and see the room you are making for miracles to manifest. And so, with great expectancy, I ask you to move, not because I am entitled, but because I am invited. You invite me to ask, to seek, to knock, and to believe that the door shall be opened. You invite me into a deeper place of trust, where my spirit clings to you more tightly than my flesh clings to the outcome. You invite me to speak life over dry places, to call forth what is not yet seen, and to walk as though the answer is already mine, because by faith it is. Today, I choose to speak with the language of heaven. I choose to declare that provision is pursuing me, that favor is surrounding me like a shield, that doors of opportunity are opening even as I speak, that the seeds I have sown in prayer, in patience, in sacrifice are breaking through the soil and rising toward the light. I may not see the full harvest yet, but I hear the sound of breakthrough in the distance. I sense the rain coming. I feel the ground shifting. I believe the season is changing. I declare that my hands are blessed, that my ideas are anointed, that my mind is aligned with heaven's wisdom, that everything I touch in obedience to you will prosper, not only for my sake, but for the sake of others you have called me to bless. I am not chasing wealth for my comfort, but pursuing purpose through which your kingdom can advance. I am not asking to be filled so I can consume, but so I can pour. Let my table be big enough for others to eat. Let my storehouses overflow, that I might give without hesitation. Let my business, my job, my income become a river of provision that refreshes everyone it touches. Lord, deepen in me a joy that is not dependent on how much I make, but on how much I trust. Let laughter return to my soul even while I wait. Let hope rise from the ashes of disappointment. Let courage rise where timidity once lived. And let every morning bring new mercy, new vision, and new expectation of what you are doing behind the scenes. I ask you to surprise me, God. Surprise me with favor. Surprise me with unexpected checks, with restored opportunities, with new clients, new partnerships, and ideas I never considered. Surprise me with divine acceleration. Take what looked like delay and show me it was preparation. Take what looked like failure and show me it was foundation. I may not understand every step, but I trust the hand that leads me. And in the midst of all of this, may my heart remain soft, pliable in your hands. Teachable to your truth. Don T, let success make me proud. Don T, let increase make me forget. Don T, let answered prayers make me deaf to the cries of others still waiting. Let the memory of the wilderness stay close enough to keep me humble. Let the story of how you came through become the anthem of my life. Lord, you said that you would open the windows of heaven, or pour out a blessing so abundant, I would not have room enough to contain it. I do not want to just read that verse, I want to live it. I want to walk in that kind of overflow. I want to wake up knowing that your goodness is chasing me down, that your provision is flowing before I even ask, that your plans are unfolding with precision that only heaven can orchestrate. Take every anxiety I have carried and exchange it for peace. Take every fear about tomorrow and flood it with faith. Take every past financial mistake and redeem it with wisdom and restoration. Let no shame remain. Let no regret linger. Because you are the God who makes all things new, including my finances, including my future. And so, I pray for divine clarity, not just about money, but about mission. Show me the why behind the blessing. Show me where you want the increase to flow. Show me who needs what I carry. Help me not to hold too tightly to what was only meant to pass through my hands. Let me live open-handed, open-hearted, ready to obey. And as I wait, I will worship. As I work, I will worship. As I walk through uncertain paths, I will worship. Because your goodness does not change with my circumstances. Your faithfulness is not measured by my paycheck. Your love is not on a timer or a quota, it is endless, relentless, unstoppable. And so is my hope. Let this day be marked by miracles. Let this season be defined by your supernatural touch. Let my life reflect a living testimony of what you can do with a heart fully surrendered, a voice filled with prayer, and hands ready to build something bigger than me. I am not just surviving, I am stepping into overflow. I am not just hoping, I am believing. I am not just asking, I am expecting. And as this fire of expectation continues to burn within me, I embrace the truth that you are not only able, but willing to do exceedingly and abundantly beyond all I could ever ask or imagine. I lean deeper into the reality that you take delight in blessing your children not as a reward for performance, but as a response to faith, surrender, and love. So I choose to believe, not because the evidence is visible in front of me, but because your word never fails, and your character does not change. Every promise you have spoken is still alive. Every word you have declared still carries power. And though time may pass, and seasons may shift, your faithfulness is never altered. So, I fix my gaze not on what my natural eyes can see, but on the truth that my spirit knows. That you are a provider, a waymaker, a father who sees the hidden need and responds with perfect provision. Even when I feel like I am behind, you remind me that in your hands, delay is not denial, it is preparation for a blessing that far outweighs what I could have planned. God, I lift to you every financial dream that has been shelved out of fear. Dreams I thought were too big. Visions I once believed in, but slowly buried under disappointment and discouragement. I lay them all at your feet. Breathe on them again. Wake them up. Let the dry bones live. Let the buried ideas rise. Let the visions that seemed too lofty become testimonies of what you can do when we dare to believe again. Remind me that with you, no dream is too radical, no need too great, and no past mistake too final. You are still rewriting stories. You are still resurrecting futures. And so I step out, Lord, not in presumption, but in faith. I take the little I have and place it in your hands, believing that you are the God who multiplies. Like the widow with her last jar of oil, I bring what seems insignificant, knowing you can make it overflow. Like the boy with the 5 loaves and 2 fish, I bring what I have not because it is enough, but because it is yours. And when what I have is placed in your hands, it always becomes more than enough. I speak now to every opportunity that has been delayed. I call it forth in the name of Jesus. I speak to every business transaction that has been stuck. I command divine movement. I speak to every client, every investor, every customer, every hidden helper who has been assigned to my journey. I declare that they will find me in the perfect timing of heaven. I speak to every voice that has tried to limit me with fear or doubt. I silence with the truth of God's promises. I am not here by accident. I am not walking this path alone. I am not moving forward in my own strength. The Spirit of the living God goes before me. Holy Spirit, guide me with clarity in every financial decision. Let me not chase trends but follow truth. Let me not act from impulse, but from discernment. Teach me to know when to move, when to wait, when to sow, and when to harvest. Let my every financial decision be wrapped in wisdom, bathed in prayer, and anchored in peace. I do not want success that comes through striving. I want success that comes from alignment. I do not want results built on sand. I want a legacy built on the rock of your truth. Father, I pray for divine release of withheld resources, release of stuck payments, release of long-awaited approvals, release of overdue reimbursements, release of unexpected blessings, and the release of divine appointments. Where the enemy tried to steal, I call for a 7-fold return. Where the doors were shut unfairly, I ask you to open new ones no man can close. Where I have been overlooked or undervalued, let your favor rest upon me like a crown. Where I have been pressed on every side, let this pressure produce purpose. Let what once felt like punishment be revealed as positioning. I ask for favor that cannot be explained. Let me walk into rooms that my resume did not open. Let me be offered opportunities I never applied for. Let my reputation be wrapped in integrity, excellence, and the unmistakable fragrance of your presence. Let others say, there is something different about them, and let that difference be you. Let your hand be so evident upon my work that even those who do not know you will be drawn to ask, how is this possible? Make my life a living altar where worship does not end with a song, but continues in how I manage what you have given me. Let my bank statements reflect my belief in your kingdom. Let my transactions mirror my trust. Let my priorities be reordered around your purposes. I do not want to simply receive, I want to be transformed. I do not want to simply earn, I want to reflect your heart through every interaction, every payment, every plan. And in the times when fear tries to creep in, when headlines scream uncertainty, when economies shake, when budgets feel tight, anchor me in truth. Let me return to your word like a lamp in the night. Let me remember the times you provided when I least expected it. Let me meditate on how you fed Elijah with ravens, how you rained manna from heaven, how you filled nets to breaking after a night of empty labor. You are still the same God. You still provide. You still delight in taking care of your own. And even if the answer takes longer than I thought, even if the provision comes in a way I did not expect, I will not stop trusting. I will not stop giving thanks. I will not stop expecting the miraculous, because your timing is perfect. Your methods are flawless, and your love for me is unshakable. You are not done writing my story. In fact, the best chapters are yet to unfold. So let this day be filled with faith. Let my thoughts align with your truth. Let my words carry power. Let my actions reflect expectancy. I am walking not into scarcity, but into promise. Not into pressure, but into peace. Not into striving, but into divine success. I declare that this is not just another season, it is a supernatural shift. I am stepping into new levels of grace, new levels of clarity, new levels of financial peace, and new levels of radical generosity. And in it all, Father, keep my eyes locked on you, not just for the blessing, but for the beauty of communion with the one who is the blessing. Not just for the breakthrough, but for the deepened bond formed through every moment of dependence and trust. And as I remain here in the sacred quiet of communion with you, Lord, I sense a holy assurance rising within me, an inner knowing that you are doing far more than I can see, that the very atmosphere around me is beginning to shift, that angels are being dispatched even now on my behalf to open doors, to fight battles I never knew were being waged, to bring provision straight from heaven's storehouses into the realm of my need. There is a stirring in the unseen, a shaking in the spirit realm, and though my hands may still feel empty, my faith is full. My soul rejoices before the breakthrough. Not because I have seen the manifestation yet, because I trust the heart of the one who holds the outcome. You are the God who always finishes what you start. You do not abandon what you establish. You do not walk away halfway through the miracle. You carry it through to completion, to overflow, to testimony. And so I plant my feet firmly on your word, refusing to waver with the winds of doubt. I declare that my business, my finances, my household, and everything under my stewardship shall thrive not by the world's systems, but by heaven's decree. I decree that lack has no permanent place here. Fear has no authority. Scarcity has no voice, because Jehovah Jireh reigns in this house, over this bank account, over this business, over every area of my provision. I speak even now to the spirit of confusion that tries to settle over my mind. Be gone in the name of Jesus. I receive clarity. I receive revelation. I receive divine insight for this very hour. No more second guessing. No more hesitation. No more paralysis by analysis. The Lord is releasing strategic wisdom from heaven, wisdom that transcends my education, my experience, and my natural qualifications. Ideas that are heaven-born and spirit-breathed are flooding my heart like streams in a desert. I will know what to do, when to do it, how to execute, and where to move. I will not miss the moment. I will not miss the instruction. Lord, give me eyes to recognize divine opportunities, even when they come wrapped in challenge. Give me courage to say yes, even when the path is unfamiliar. Give me discernment to say no, even when the offer looks attractive, but lacks your breath. Keep me anchored in obedience, not in outcomes, for obedience is the gateway to inheritance. Obedience unlocks favor. Obedience secures legacy. Let me walk in radical obedience, trusting that every step of surrender leads to supernatural supply. God, I pray for my hands, may they be diligent, faithful, and blessed. Let the work I do be excellent, not just in function, but in spirit. Let every transaction carry honesty. Let every agreement be bathed in fairness. Let every decision be guided by righteousness. I reject every shortcut born of compromise. I renounce every temptation to manipulate, cheat, or cut corners for profit. Let my wealth be clean. Let my gains be godly. Let my increase be testimony worthy. And Father, as I prosper, protect my heart from pride. Let me never forget the days I prayed for what I now hold. Let me never look down on others who are still in the valley I once knew. Give me a generous heart, a heart that does not just give what is convenient, but gives what costs. A heart that listens for your voice in every act of generosity. Make me sensitive to the needs around me. Let me be a vessel of answered prayers for others. Let the rivers of provision flowing to me also flow through me. Raise up in me a bold spirit, not brashness, but holy boldness. A spirit that walks into rooms unshaken by status or intimidation, because it carries the weight of heaven's authority. Let favor surround me like a shield. Let doors open that I did not have to push. Let resources come without striving. Let every area of my life speak of your glory. And for every no I have heard before now, let there be a yes that comes from you, which no one can reverse. For every opportunity that passed me by, let there be a divine restoration. For every resource I lost, let there be a multiplied return. Not because I demand it, but because I believe in your redemptive power to restore what the enemy tried to steal. I also speak over my generational line. Let the cycles of financial struggle stop with me. Let the patterns of barely enough be broken. Let a new legacy begin, one of stewardship, of wealth that builds, of giving that transforms, of faith that is unshakable. Let my children and their children walk in the blessing born from today's prayers. Let them inherit more than provision. Let them inherit the presence of a God-fearing heart, a legacy of faithful obedience. Holy Spirit, fall fresh upon my finances. Fall fresh upon every spreadsheet, every plan, every product, every service, every client interaction. Invade my budget, touch my pricing, influence my marketing. Let my efforts be guided by your creativity and infused with your excellence. Let the excellence of heaven be reflected in the excellence of my execution. Let the fruit of the Spirit, peace, patience, kindness, self-control be the invisible force behind every decision I make. God, I know that abundance is not just about access, it is about atmosphere. So I ask you to shift the atmosphere of my heart, my home, and my work. Let faith arise in every corner. Let joy be restored where stress once lived. Let laughter echo again in rooms that grew quiet from worry. Let my home become a sanctuary of peace, a place where even those who visit sense the presence of a provider who never fails. Let me rise every morning with confidence, knowing that provision is not just coming, it is already in motion. Let me go to bed each night with rest in my bones, not because I have figured it all out, but because I have placed it all in your hands. Let this posture of trust never grow cold. Let this intimacy of prayer become my daily rhythm. Let me never grow tired of depending on you, for in dependence I find strength. In surrender I find victory, and in seeking I find more than answers, I find you. And in the quiet confidence of that trust, I lift up not only my own needs, Lord, but the needs of those around me who suffer in silence, those who carry the invisible weight of financial worry, who smile in public but cry in private, who faithfully show up day after day without anyone knowing the battle they are fighting behind closed doors. Reach them now. Father, let them feel the warmth of your presence wrapping around them, like a soft cloak, assuring them that they are not alone, not abandoned, not forgotten. Stir hope again in places where despair has settled. Breathe life into weary hearts that have nearly given up. You are not the God of barely enough, you are the God of abundant overflow. You are not the God of delay without purpose. You are the God of preparation in the waiting. You do not simply give resources. You teach us how to receive them with wisdom, to multiply them with grace, and to release them with joy. And so today, I ask not only for financial increase, but for a deepened capacity to handle the blessing. I ask that you mature my heart in stewardship even before the abundance arrives. Let my character be strong enough to carry what I am asking for. Build in me the kind of foundation that won't crack under the weight of answered prayer. I renounce every root of fear that says I won't have enough. I pull up by the root every lie planted by past disappointments, every whisper of doubt sound through missed opportunities and closed doors. I surrender the narrative that says blessing is for others, but not for me. Today, I break agreement with every voice that has spoken limitation over my life. I come into full agreement with the truth of your word, that I am blessed and not cursed, chosen and not forsaken, called and not forgotten. I declare that my financial future is not dictated by the world's instability, but by heaven's economy. Lord, I thank you for teaching me the value of contentment, but I also ask you to stretch my vision. Let me not settle where you have called me to expand. Let me not become complacent in seasons where you are calling me to build, to pioneer, to press forward with holy ambition. Remove every small mindset that limits what you can do through me. Remind me that the God who gave Joseph wisdom in famine, the God who gave Solomon divine strategies for wealth, the God who taught the early church how to give and receive in supernatural unity, that same God lives in me. So give me courage to dream again. Give me boldness to step again. Give me the resolve to rise again. Let your anointing rest upon everything my hands find to do. Let my labor be laced with joy. Let my diligence be married to discernment. Let my business and my work not be a source of anxiety, but a river of peace and purpose. Teach me to flow in grace, not grind in exhaustion. Let the rhythm of heaven guide my schedule. Let divine timing be more important to me than deadlines imposed by fear. Let me move in sync with the seasons you have appointed, trusting that whatever does not come to pass was not meant for my journey right now. And as you prosper me, Lord, teach me to prosper others. Make me generous, not just with money, but with time, attention, compassion, and mentorship. Show me how to lift others as I climb, to share wisdom freely, to speak life over others' ideas and ventures. Let the culture around my life be one of encouragement, generosity, and faith. Let people who come near me feel the atmosphere of abundance, not just materially, but spiritually and emotionally. God, let the increase you send not spoil in my hands, but multiply. Let it not lead to isolation, but deeper community. Let it not inflate my ego, but increase my worship. Let every dollar earned carry divine assignment. Let every profit come with purpose. Let every investment be aligned with your kingdom. Show me how to invest not just in earthly ventures, but in eternal impact. Teach me to sow into lives, into ministries, into missions, into people who can never repay me, but whose breakthrough may come through my obedience. And I pray over the atmosphere of my home. Let it be a place where your peace rules and reigns. Remove every residue of fear, every trace of lack, every echo of former struggles. Let my children grow up not with anxiety around money, but with faith in their provider. Let them see generosity modeled. Let them hear prayers like these in the walls of our house. Let them know from a young age that our help comes not from men, but from the hills, from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. May our table be a place of provision and praise. May our hands always have something to offer. May our hearts never grow weary in doing good, for in due season you have promised a harvest if we do not give up. And I hold to that, Lord. Even when I am tired, I refuse to let go of your promises. Even when the wait stretches longer than I imagined, I will not back away from the altar of expectation. I will stand. I will sow. I will believe. I will praise. because you are faithful not just in the past, not only in the future, but faithful right now, in this moment. So I lean in again with all that I am. I lean in with trembling hope. I lean in with stubborn faith. I lean in with raw honesty, and I say, have your way. Shape my story however you choose, as long as you are the one holding the pen. Write chapters of provision that point to your power. Write testimonies of unexpected blessing that turn heads toward heaven. Write pages filled with wonder, not because I earned it, but because you are just that good. And as I linger in this sacred space between my current reality and the future you are preparing, I begin to see the subtle ways you have already been working, how even in seasons of drought, you kept something alive within me. You preserved the last handful of flour, the final drops of oil. You carried me through when I thought I had nothing left. And I realize now that you were never absent. You were orchestrating something deeper than provision. You were building faith that does not fracture, trust that does not falter, and hope that refuses to die. You were teaching me how to pray from the wilderness and praise from the valley. You were training my spirit not to rely on the visible, but to walk by faith and not by sight. And now, as I stand here still asking, still waiting, still hoping I do so with a heart that has been refined by fire and shaped by grace, I am not the same person who began this prayer. I am not pleading from desperation. I am proclaiming from identity. I am a child of the Most High God. I am the seed of promise. I am the heir of divine inheritance. And my Father is not limited by earthly systems. So I begin to declare again over my life, my income, my future, my home, everything that you have spoken, every word you have whispered in the night, every promise that seemed buried under the dust of time. I call it all back into the light. I speak resurrection over forgotten dreams. I speak fulfillment over long-held prayers. I speak movement where there has been stagnation, and release where there has been resistance. Let the windows of heaven be opened, Lord, not just in blessing, but in clarity, in timing, in direction. And as you pour out, let me never be found hoarding what was meant to flow. Teach me to be a channel, not a container. Let the blessings that come into my life be directed by your Spirit. Show me who to bless, how to bless, when to give, and when to sow. Make me bold in generosity, not reckless, but Spirit-led. Let my giving be prophetic. Let it unlock doors not only for me, but for those you place in my path. Let my story become part of someone else's breakthrough. Let my yes become the answer to someone else's prayer. And even in moments when the blessing does not look like I imagined, when it comes wrapped in process instead of ease, teach me to recognize your fingerprints in the unexpected. Let me not miss the miracle because it did not arrive in the package I anticipated. Your ways are higher, your thoughts deeper, and your strategies often far beyond what I can comprehend. So I lay down my expectations and pick up trust. I lay down my deadlines and pick up surrender. I release every demand I have placed on the outcome, and instead receive whatever you choose to give, because anything from your hand is better than everything from mine. God, I ask you to make me immovable in my faith, not rigid, but rooted, not hardened, but held. Let storms come if they must, because I know where my shelter is. Let the winds blow, the markets shake, the forecasts shift, because my source is unshaken. I will not be moved by the numbers. I will not be controlled by the headlines. I will be grounded in the truth that you are Jehovah Jireh, my provider, my sustainer, my keeper, my promise fulfiller. Strengthen my discernment, Lord. There will be opportunities that look good, but are not from you. There will be paths that offer gain, but cost my peace. There will be moments where logic says yes, but your spirit says wait. Give me ears to hear and a heart that listens. Keep me sensitive to the sound of your leading, even when it contradicts the world's wisdom. Let me trust your voice more than my own reasoning. Let me move in rhythm with heaven's pace. Let me follow the cloud by day and the fire by night. Let me be led, not driven, guided, not pushed. And for every area I still carry concern, every invoice still unpaid, every bank balance still too low, every plan still waiting on funds, I place them again at your feet, not with a clenched fist, but with open hands, not with worry, but with worship, not with frustration, but with faith, because you are working even now. You are not slow as some understand slowness. You are exact. You are intentional. And you are preparing not only the blessing, but preparing me to carry it well. Father, heal my relationship with finances, where money has caused tension in my past. Bring peace, where scarcity has shaped my decisions. Renew my thinking, where fear has led me to hoard or hesitate. Pour out boldness and joy. Let me see money not as my master, as a tool for kingdom work, for family blessing, for community impact. Let me use it wisely, give it freely, and never allow it to define my worth. And I pray, too, for those who hold influence over systems that affect my provision, employers, decision makers, lenders, partners. Turn their hearts like rivers of water in your hand. Let favor find me where policy would have overlooked me. Let mercy rewrite what was denied. Let grace extend beyond what I qualify for. For where man says no, you still have the final say, and I believe your yes is coming. Even now, I feel the shift, not always in the natural, but deep within, a holy stirring, a divine movement. Faith is rising, praise is rising, and the heavens are leaning low. I believe miracles are being activated by prayer. I believe contracts are being signed. Payments are being released. Strategies are being revealed. Hearts are being moved. Opportunities are being birthed. Not because I willed it, but because I believed and you honored that belief. And as I rise from this posture of intercession, let me carry this atmosphere with me. Let every conversation today be seasoned with faith. Let every decision be anchored in peace. Let every interaction carry kindness. Let me reflect the joy of one who knows that the answer is not just coming, it is already on the way. Let my life preach louder than my words. Let my attitude testify louder than my circumstances. Let me live as one who walks with the provider, not as one who panics with the world. and as I walk forward carrying the residue of your presence on my spirit. I walk not as one who is hoping for favor, I walk as one who is already favored. I step into this day not with trembling, but with triumph, because I know that the one who called me is faithful to provide for me. I declare that I am not a victim of economy, not a prisoner of past decisions, not a slave to cycles of lack. I am a child of promise. Called, equipped, and chosen to walk in supernatural provision, both in the seen and the unseen. Every step I take is a seed. Every act of faith is a door swinging open in the spirit realm. Every time I choose to trust instead of fear, I move closer to the fullness of what you have for me. You are not just supplying my needs. You are exceeding my expectations. You are rewriting my story. Where there was once lack, you are writing abundance. Where there was once survival, you are writing significance. Where there was once striving, you are writing rest. You are shifting me from barely making it into blessed to be a blessing. And Lord, I pray not only for the breakthrough I can see, but for the overflow that reaches far beyond me. Let my provision ripple outward into my family, my church, my neighborhood, my city. Let my life be proof that you take pleasure in the prosperity of your servant. Let me be so abundantly blessed that people begin to ask, what changed? And let my answer be simple and true. God did it, not because of who I am, but because of who you are. Not because of what I have done, but because of what you promised. Not because I earned it, but because I trusted you in the dark and praised you in the lack. And God, I ask you to keep my heart from growing numb in the waiting. Keep me tender in spirit, sensitive to your voice. Let me never become so consumed with seeking the provision that I stop seeking the provider. You are my treasure. You are my reward. And everything you give is simply a reflection of who you are: good, generous, and always right on time. Teach me to see miracles in the mundane. Teach me to recognize answered prayer, even when it comes wrapped in small beginnings. Let me never overlook your faithfulness just because it does not come in the form I expected. I lift up to you the pending decisions I face, ones that involve money, contracts, or direction. I ask you to flood me with wisdom beyond my years. Let every step I take be spirit-led, not pressure-driven. Let every move I make be rooted in peace, not panic. I do not want to just succeed. I want to walk in divine success. The kind that carries no sorrow with it. The kind that lifts others as it elevates me. The kind that draws glory to you and points every eye upward. And for every person connected to me who is battling under the weight of financial strain, I lift them up right now. May your peace cover them like a blanket. May your provision chase them down. May unexpected favor interrupt their week. May phone calls of good news arrive. May open doors appear where there were only walls. May joy be restored to their hearts, and laughter return to their homes. May they see with their own eyes that you are a God who hears, who moves, and who answers. I declare that I am stepping into a new chapter, a chapter of abundance with purpose, a chapter of wisdom with wealth, a chapter of giving without fear and receiving without shame. I will no longer apologize for asking. I will no longer feel guilty for being blessed, because I now understand that it is not about me, it is about what you are doing through me. And I want to be a faithful steward of the favor you pour out. I will use what you give to build your house. I will use what you give to lift the broken. I will use what you give to bring heaven's justice to earth. I will not hoard manna when you are calling me to gather double. I will not hide talents when you are calling me to multiply. I will not shrink back when you are calling me to rise in boldness. I will not let the fear of judgment keep me from walking in divine prosperity. Because when you bless, it is holy. When you bless, it is covered. When you bless, it has eternal purpose written all over it. So let it come, Lord, however you choose. Let the clients come. Let the investors come. Let the job offers, the business ideas, the inspired solutions, the contracts, the grants, the promotions, the creative downloads, and the strategic alignments all come not for my glory, but so that your name might be praised through every good thing that touches my life. Let the fruit be sweet. Let the vine be strong. Let the harvest be plentiful. Let the testimony be loud. And if there are still days ahead where it feels slow, remind me again that you are still in the room, that you are still in control, that even when my hands are empty, my heart can still be full of praise, full of trust, full of hope, full of joy, because you have not brought me this far to leave me now. You have not allowed me to press in, to cry out, to stay faithful, just to disappoint me in the end. You are not just the Alpha, you are also the Omega. What you began, you will finish. What you promised, you will fulfill. What you planted, you will bring to harvest. And I will be found still praising, still sowing, still serving, still believing even if the clouds delay, even if the winds shift, even if the tide seems slow, because I know the rain is coming. I know the breakthrough is moving closer. I know you are setting everything in place. And soon, very soon, the fullness of what I have carried in prayer will become visible in the natural. And even as I continue to walk through this journey of faith, Lord, I feel you stretching the borders of my understanding, expanding the capacity of my spirit to believe for more, not just for financial provision, but for total transformation in every area touched by scarcity, fear, or shame. You are rewriting the narrative I once accepted, breaking generational cycles of limitation and speaking new language into my spirit language of abundance, of legacy, of divine ownership and eternal purpose. No longer will I measure provision by numbers alone. From this moment forward, I will begin to measure it by peace, by presence, by purpose fulfilled. For what good is wealth if it costs me my rest? What good is increase if I lose my soul in pursuit of it? But what you give, Lord, comes with balance. What you release brings healing with it. It restores more than my finances. It restores my identity as your beloved child, worthy of fullness, not because I deserve it, but because you delight in giving it. I cast off every lie that has told me I am too late, too behind, too broken to receive what you have promised. I cast off the guilt that says I must earn my way into blessing, or that I have missed too many opportunities to be trusted with more. You are the God of the second chance, the fresh start, the divine reset. You are not limited by time. You do not count my failures as disqualifiers, but rather as stepping stones into deeper grace. You redeem what I thought was wasted. You resurrect what I believed was gone. You call forth light from darkness and wealth from dry ground. And Lord, as you pour out new provision, prepare my heart to carry it with humility. Let me never place my worth in what I have, but always in who I belong to. Let my worth be rooted in sonship, not in salary. Let my identity rest in being yours, not in what I possess. Strip away any attachment to things that could cloud my focus or tempt my pride. Let me be quick to give, eager to bless, ready to release without fear or hesitation. Let giving become my joy, not my duty. Let generosity become my worship, not just my responsibility. I speak now over every corner of my life where provision has been slow to come. Over every prayer I have whispered with tears in the dark. Over every time I have looked at a bill and said, Lord, I do not know how. Over every decision I have made in faith, only to wait longer than expected. I speak resurrection life into those waiting places. I declare that delay is being turned in delivery, that the long nights of uncertainty are giving way to mornings of revelation, that what the enemy tried to hold back is being released in abundance. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And in this moment, I lift up those who are on the front lines of serving others with limited resources, pastors who shepherd with little, mothers who stretch every dollar to feed their children, workers who go unnoticed but show up day after day. Let heaven remember them now. Let your goodness find them. Let provision knock at their doors. Let miracles overtake them in unexpected places. May their faith be honored. May their quiet sacrifice be repaid openly. May their hearts be lifted and their hands be filled. I ask you, Father, to increase not just my income, but my impact. Let the ideas you give me be solutions for others. Let the businesses I build create opportunities for families. Let the work I do make life better for someone else. May I never see success as a finish line, but as the beginning of a life lived in service. A life poured out for something greater than myself. Show me how to reinvest every blessing back into your kingdom. Make me a builder of legacy, not just a gatherer of wealth. As I grow in financial blessing, grow me also in wisdom. Grow me in emotional maturity. Grow me in spiritual discernment. Let my soul be enlarged alongside my income. Let me not be rich in the eyes of the world, but bankrupt in the spirit. I want to be rich in grace, in kindness, in love, in joy. Let my words be seasoned with compassion. Let my posture remain low, even as you lift me high. May the higher you take me, the more deeply I bow in awe of you. And Lord, if there are still places in me that resist abundance, places shaped by old fears, religious mindsets, or self-doubt, I ask you to illuminate them now. Shine your truth there. Heal what is still broken. Transform what is still stuck. Let me not sabotage my own blessing with small vision or limited expectation. Let me dream like someone who knows the King. Let me ask like someone who knows the doors of heaven are open. Let me plan like someone whose future is already secured by the hands that formed the galaxies. Even now, I prepare my heart to receive. I make room for more not just in my budget, but in my soul. I make room for more joy, more laughter, more peace, more testimonies. I stretch out the cords of my tent and strengthen the stakes, because I believe you are expanding my territory. Prepare to walk in places I have never walked before. I prepare to operate at levels I have never reached. I prepare to receive clients I never thought I would attract. I prepare for phone calls I did not expect, opportunities I did not see coming, and provision that arrives just in time, right on schedule with your purpose. Let this not just be another financial season. Let it be a prophetic turning point. Let it mark a new era in my walk with you, an era where I no longer wonder if you will provide, but walk confidently knowing that you already have. An era where I do not shrink in fear, but stand tall in promise. An era where every gift you give is stewarded with open hands and grateful praise. Let those around me see what you are doing, not to envy, but to encounter. Let my life provoke questions that point to your glory. Let them ask, how did you come through that? And let my answer be, only God. Let them witness the peace I carry in unstable times, and be drawn to the rock on which I stand. Let my abundance never be about display, but always about invitation and open door for others to taste and see that the Lord is good. And so, with my heart wide open and my spirit fully surrendered, I continue to dwell in the divine expectancy that you are doing something extraordinary. Even now, even in this quiet moment of stillness, I am not just asking for resources, I am asking for revelation. I am not just seeking a transaction, I am longing for transformation. For every dollar that enters my life, let there be double wisdom to steward it. For every door that opens, let there be discernment to walk through it with courage and grace. For every new responsibility you entrust to me, let there be a greater measure of humility and reliance on you. Father, take me deeper into the awareness that you are not bound by what binds the world. You do not need a booming market to bless me. You do not require a perfect economy to prosper me. You are not subject to inflation, recession, or limitation. You own the cattle on 1,000 hills. The earth is yours and everything in it. You are the multiplier of little, the rebuilder of ruins, the restorer of wasted years. When I have you, I lack nothing. So let me not fix my gaze on numbers or trends, but on your face. Let me not be swayed by headlines, but by your heart. I ask you, Lord, to breathe on every idea that has been sitting dormant in my mind, those concepts and dreams that I have pushed aside, afraid they would not work, afraid I was not capable. Reignite them with holy fire. Wake them up with divine instruction. Let creativity flow like a river through my hands and thoughts. Let business strategies be birthed in prayer. Let innovation rise from intimacy with you. Let vision be sharpened in the secret place. And as I step into the work you have given me, let me never separate the sacred from the secular. Let every spreadsheet be worship. Let every phone call be a ministry. Let every product or service carry excellence and compassion. Let my workplace, whether in an office, a shop, a field, or at home, become a sanctuary where you dwell. Let clients feel peace when they interact with me. Let coworkers see integrity. Let competitors witness kindness. Let those who deal with me know they have encountered someone marked by heaven. I lift up my hands again, not just to receive, but to release. I release control over the outcome. I release fear about the future. I release shame from past financial mistakes. I release comparisons that have made me feel behind. I release every heavy weight that has tried to settle on my shoulders, and I receive, in its place, the easy yoke and light burden you promised. I receive divine rhythm. I receive supernatural flow. I receive joy in the journey, not just when I reach the destination, but every step along the way. God, I ask you now to send the right people. Surround me with wise counsel. Bring mentors who can speak truth. Raise up encouragers who fan the flame of my calling. Send kingdom-minded partners who are generous, visionary, and full of faith. Let me discern quickly who is for me, who is from you, and who I must release. Don't let me waste time where there is no fruit. Don't let me invest energy into connections you have not ordained. Let divine alignment be my portion. Let divine protection guard every relationship. I speak now over the atmosphere of my mind. I take captive every thought that exalts itself against the knowledge of your goodness. I silence the voices that say, "You will never get ahead," or "You do not deserve more." I replace them with truth. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am blessed going in and blessed coming out. I am seated in heavenly places with Christ. I am a joint heir. I am surrounded with favor as a shield. I am not begging, I am believing. I am not doubting, I am declaring. And over my hands, Lord, I ask you to anoint them afresh. Let what I build be beautiful. Let what I create bring healing. Let what I manage prosper. Let what I repair last. Let what I touch carry life. May everything I set my hand to do reflect your character, your excellence, your justice, your truth, and your love. Let the anointing for financial breakthrough rest not just on me, through me flowing outward into my community, my generation, my family line. I ask you to give me a giving heart, not only when I have more than enough, but even when I am still believing for my own breakthrough. Let me give like the widow who trusted with her last coin. Let me sow in faith even when I have not yet seen the harvest, because I know the soil of the kingdom is never dry. Every seed I plant in your name will return multiplied. Every gift of obedience will echo in eternity. Let me give with joy, with trust, with holy fire. And God, let testimonies be my portion, not just one, but many. Let them come from unexpected places. Let them unfold in such a way that there is no doubt it was you. Let my story become a song of what is possible when a person places their whole trust in the hands of a faithful God. and let my testimony spark faith in others. Let it raise up other believers who've stopped praying for provision because of past disappointment. Let it ignite hope again in their hearts. Remind me that you are not just providing for me because I asked, but because you love me. Your provision is not transactional. It is relational. You bless because it brings you joy to see your children flourish. You provide because you are a good father who delights in the well-being of his own. So let my posture never be one of performance, but one of confident rest in the love that never runs out. And in the waiting, I will worship. In the lean seasons, I will look to you. In the overflow, I will pour it back out. My heart will not change with the conditions of my bank account. My praise will not rise and fall with the balance in my hands, because the greatest treasure I will ever have is the nearness of you. And in this nearness, I find everything I was searching for in wealth, in success, in security. Here in your presence is fullness of joy, provision that does not fade, and peace that cannot be shaken. I understand now, more clearly than ever, that the miracle begins not with money in hand, but with surrender in heart. The breakthrough begins the moment I stop striving and start trusting. The blessing is birthed not from my effort, but from my yieldedness to your timing, your strategy, and your sovereign love. So I quiet my spirit before you again, tuning my heart to the frequency of heaven. Let my ears be attuned to the whisper of the Holy Spirit, who guides without confusion and leads without chaos. Where there has been noise, bring stillness. Where there has been pressure, release peace. Where there has been fatigue, restore strength. I know you are working in the background, in ways I cannot see, arranging circumstances, preparing connections, creating provision before the need even arises. I declare that the works of my hands are fruitful, that what I build is not temporary, but enduring, that the income you bless me with is not consumed in haste, but multiplied with wisdom, that the dreams you place in my heart are watered by obedience and illuminated by revelation. I will not despise the day of small beginnings, for you rejoice to see the work start, and I will not rush what you are growing, for what you grow is always worth the wait. And in this waiting, I speak aloud every promise you have made. You said that the righteous will not be forsaken, nor their children begging for bread. You said you would supply all my needs according to your riches in glory through Christ Jesus. You said if I seek first your kingdom and your righteousness, all these things shall be added unto me. You said that you give seed to the sower and bread for food, and will enlarge the harvest of righteousness. You said that I would lend to many and borrow from none. I grab hold of these promises with both hands, refusing to let go, not just reading them as hopeful poetry, but receiving them as covenant truth, blood sealed and spirit breathed. They are my foundation when I feel uncertain. They are my anchor when circumstances shake. They are my inheritance, not based on my worthiness, but on your unchanging nature. You are not a man that you should lie. Every word you speak is yes and amen. So I continue to pray bold prayers, Prayers that stretch beyond the possible. Prayers that break out of small containers. Prayers that dare to believe that this season can shift today, that a phone call, a divine encounter, a supernatural solution can change everything in a moment. I believe you for overflow, not so I can boast, but so I can become a river. Let what flows into me flow through me. Let me be generous without fear. Let me bless others from a place of confidence. Not calculation. I declare that I am stepping out of survival and into supernatural sustainability, that I will no longer live month to month, hand to mouth, moment to moment in fear. I will live as one who belongs to a kingdom without lack, a household without anxiety, a family ruled by peace. I walk under an open heaven, not just financially but relationally, emotionally, and spiritually. Let every corner of my life come under the canopy of your covering. And for every decision that lies before me, whether it be investments, job opportunities, partnerships, relocations, or new ventures, I ask for the spirit of wisdom and revelation. Let me not lean on my own understanding, but in all my ways acknowledge you. Shut every door that is not from you, even if it looks appealing. Open doors I would not have considered, even if they stretch me beyond comfort. I want only what carries your fingerprint. I want only what advances your kingdom and aligns with your purpose for me. I ask you to align my character with my calling. Please let the blessing arrive faster than I am prepared to carry it. Let the influence exceed the integrity. Root me deeply before you elevate me visibly. Let humility be my posture, even in prosperity. Let purity guard my intentions. Even as you broaden my reach, let me be known more for my faith and my love than for any success or accomplishment. Father, I also intercede for every person who has sown in tears, those who have continued to tithe when it hurt, those who gave sacrificially without seeing immediate return, those who trusted you even as their resources ran dry. May they reap with joy. May this be their season of suddenly. May the harvest come quickly. May you reward their quiet faith and crown their unseen obedience. Let their testimony be loud and undeniable. And I pray for the faith to keep showing up, not because I see evidence, but because I trust the one who is always faithful. Let me wake each morning with expectation, walk through each day with joy, and sleep each night in peace. Let contentment and ambition walk hand in hand. Let hope and strategy live side by side. Let me dream big and walk humbly. Let me believe for more without ever becoming entitled. I choose to live in gratitude, now not waiting for more to arrive before I celebrate, but rejoicing in what already is. Thank you for breath. Thank you for the seed I already have. Thank you for the ideas that are still forming. Thank you for the strength to work, the mind to think, the heart to love. I thank you in advance for what is coming, and I thank you even more for what you are doing in me along the way. Even if I do not understand every twist in the journey, I will follow. Even when I feel tired, I will press in. Even when others doubt, I will hold fast, because I know the one who goes before me. I know the one who promised to never leave nor forsake. I know the voice that calls me deeper, and I will answer again and again. Yes, Lord, I trust you. And as I continue to respond to that sacred yes, Father, I feel you deepening something in me deeper than wealth, deeper than provision, deeper than breakthrough. You are cultivating within me the posture of sustained trust, an abiding confidence that does not waver with the wind or falter under pressure. You are shaping me into someone who does not just wait for miracles, but walks as if they have already happened. Someone who lives in such faith that others are drawn into belief just by being near. Let my life, God, become the proof that obedience opens doors no man can shut. Let the steps I take today, though they may seem small, carry the weight of heaven's backing. I will not overlook the power of small beginnings, nor will I despise the hidden seasons of preparation, for I know that even in silence, you are sowing something in me, even in delay. You are doing something eternal, even in the times when it feels like nothing is changing. You are stretching my capacity to carry more. So I yield again, fully. I surrender the need to know how it will all come together. I surrender the timelines I have tried to write for myself. I surrender the pressure to make something happen in my own strength. Because when you build, Lord, it lasts. And I want my provision, my business, my career, my financial testimony not to be a flash that fades, but a legacy that lives. Let the work of my hands bring you honor. Father, not just through success, but through integrity. Let me be faithful in the unseen. Let me be honest when no one is watching. Let me walk upright in every transaction. Let me uphold justice in every decision. And let me carry your light into places that need hope. May the excellence with which I operate be a reflection of the excellence of the one I serve. And I ask you now to lift every burden of performance that I have unknowingly carried the unspoken pressure to prove my worth through. Productivity, the internal striving to earn what you have already freely offered. Free me from the lie that I have to achieve in order to be accepted. Free me from the cycle of hustle that leaves me weary but empty. Teach me the beauty of working from rest, not laziness, but divine rhythm. Let your grace be the wind at my back, the strength in my bones, the calm in my planning. Even when the figures do not yet add up, I choose to rejoice. Even when the door has not yet opened, I choose to knock again. Even when the bank account looks tight, I choose to speak abundance, because I have learned that circumstances may lie, but your word never does, and I will live not by what I see, but by what you have spoken. I will walk not by emotion, but by revelation. I will move not by pressure, but by peace. You are not only my provider, you are my portion. You are the inheritance that never depreciates. You are the source that never runs dry. And because of you, I can say with confidence, I lack nothing. I am never truly in deficit, because I am connected to a limitless God. So, let that truth transform how I think, how I speak, how I act. Let that truth reshape my financial habits, restore my confidence, and renew my faith for even greater things. And I pray for divine timing. Lord, let every blessing arrive at the exact moment it is needed, not too soon that I misuse it, not too late that I lose heart. Align me with the appointed times of heaven. Let me not miss what is mine, and let me not chase what is not. Teach me to walk in step with your spirit, not racing ahead in fear or lagging behind in hesitation. When you say move, I will move. When you say wait, I will wait. When you say speak, I will declare boldly. Let my financial decisions echo into eternity. Let every dollar I earn carry weight in the kingdom. Let every investment I make, whether in people, missions, or ministry, produce fruit that will never fade. Make me mindful of the eternal even while managing the temporary. Let me never be so consumed with gain that I forget grace. Let me never be so focused on income that I ignore intimacy. Let the blessing never become more important than the blesser. And I declare over my future that I will walk in peace, not pressure. That I will live in overflow, not just barely enough. That I will lend and not borrow, bless and not hoard, give and not fear. That I will sleep soundly knowing you are managing what I have surrendered. That I will speak freely of your goodness without apology. That my life will be marked by generosity, faith, and miracles on repeat. I lift up my family now. Cover them with your abundance. Let financial peace reign in our home. Let every need be met, not just the visible ones, but the emotional ones, the relational ones, the dreams we dare not say aloud. Provide tuition. Provide housing. Provide health care. Provide vision. Provide laughter. Provide unity. Let no spirit of fear, lack, or scarcity survive in this atmosphere. We are a house of provision, a house of miracles, a house planted firmly in the truth of a God who always provides. And I stand in the gap for others, for the single mother trying to make ends meet, for the entrepreneur who has poured everything into a vision, for the family facing eviction, for the believer who has tithed faithfully but has not yet seen the return. Let their season turn. Let hope be rekindled. Let angels be dispatched. Let funds be released. Let testimonies break out like wildfire across the earth. Let this be a wave of supernatural provision that no man can take credit for. Even now, I feel you strengthening me, steadying my heart, quieting the panic that tries to rise. You are enough. You have always been enough. And you will be enough again tomorrow. So I exhale the worry. I inhale the peace. I release the control. I receive the promise. I declare again, my trust is in you. And as I breathe in that peace again, Lord, I realize it has always been available. It was never withheld, only waiting for me to release my grip on fear. You were waiting for me to remember that you are not just the God of my tomorrow. You are the Lord of my this very moment. Right here. Right now. You are faithful. You are working. You are closer than the breath in my lungs. And so, with every breath I take, I choose to believe again. I choose to align again. I choose to speak life again over my finances, over my future, over the promises that have not yet fully bloomed. I speak into the dry bones of disappointment and say, live again. I speak in the dusty dreams sitting on the shelves of my heart and say, rise up. I speak to every word you have whispered in the secret place and call it forth to manifest in divine timing and power. No delay, no detour, no distraction can cancel what you have ordained. I hold fast to the blueprint of heaven and reject the lies that say it is too late, too hard, or too impossible, because I know who holds the pen to my story, and he writes with miracles in his ink. And Father, I ask you to bless not only my hands, but my habits. Let the disciplines of heaven govern my daily decisions. Teach me to be wise with what I already have before more is added. Let me not waste what I once prayed for. Let me honor every open door with diligence and every open hand with generosity. Let my bank accounts not only reflect your blessing, but tell the story of a heart that puts you first. I do not want to just appear faithful. I want to be faithful. Even when no one else sees, even when it is hard, even when it costs me. Let your Spirit nudge me in every purchase. Let me not spend out of pressure, but from peace. Let me not give out of guilt, but from joy. Let me not withhold out of fear, but sow with purpose. I no longer want to be reactive with money. I want to be prophetic with it. Let every transaction I make carry an assignment. Let every dollar I steward echo with eternity. Let every investment I make in others ripple outward far beyond what I can see. I thank you, Lord, that no resource can outmatch the richness of your wisdom, that no paycheck can define the potential you have placed in me, that no promotion or position can replace the authority I already carry as a child of the King. I am not waiting for man to validate me. I have already been chosen by you, and what you ordain, no one can undo. So I rise today with boldness, not because of what I hold in my hand, but because of who holds me. I rise in the confidence of one who walks with heaven's backing. I rise in the identity of one who has been forgiven, favored, and filled with your Spirit. I rise in the calling to be a light in the marketplace, a steward in the field, and a giver in the midst of great need. I rise because you call me to rise, and when you call, I answer. Let my life be a sanctuary, Father, a sacred space where provision meets purpose, where faith is not a concept, but a lifestyle, where blessing is not an end goal, but a bridge to reach others. Let everything I build be established on truth. Let every room I enter be shifted by grace. Let my clients see integrity. Let my colleagues witness compassion. Let my competitors sense peace. And let my community feel love. And when opposition rises, and I know it will, I will not flinch. I will not bow to fear, nor retreat into doubt, because the same God who opened the Red Sea, who rained manna from heaven, who multiplied loaves and fishes, is the God who lives in me. I am not alone in this journey. I am backed by angel armies. I am covered by divine covenant. I am filled with resurrection power. And so I will stand, even if I have to stand in faith alone. I will speak life, even when my voice shakes. I will declare abundance, even in the face of lack. Let the seeds I plant today yield more than harvests. They will yield hope. Hope for the next generation. Hope for the wary believer. Hope for the watching world. Let the fruit of my life be a witness to the truth that you are a faithful provider, not just for a season, but for a lifetime. Let the increase I walk in be holy. Let it carry purpose. Let it be pure. Let it be so evidently from you that no man can boast, and only you receive the glory. And I speak now to the generations after me, to the children and grandchildren I may never meet in this lifetime. May they never know the weight of financial fear. May they never hear the whispers of not enough. May they inherit not just provision, but the faith that births provision. May they walk boldly because I chose to believe when it was hard, because I stayed on my knees when I could be walked away, because I sowed in faith when I had every reason to quit. Let legacy rise from this prayer. Let destiny be unlocked through these declarations. Let the heavens record every word and assign angels to every assignment. Let divine appointments align with every step I take from this moment forward. Let supernatural acceleration overtake me. Let favor outrun the deadlines. Let breakthrough chase me down. Let the goodness of the Lord overtake me in ways I never imagined. And in it all, through plenty or through testing, I will praise. I will remember. I will testify. I will lift high the name of Jesus, not only as Savior but as supplier, not only as Redeemer but as Rewarder, not only as the Lamb who was slain but the Shepherd who provides. Because you, Lord, are more than enough. And as I keep declaring that you are more than enough, Lord, I begin to see that the true wealth you offer does not begin in my wallet, it begins in my spirit. It begins in the quiet knowing that I am never forsaken, never forgotten, never overlooked by the one who knit me together, called me by name, and assigned me purpose before I drew my first breath. I feel the layers of worry peeling off me, the chains of anxiety breaking loose. I no longer carry this burden of provision alone, because it was never mine to carry without you. You are the one who multiplies what I place in your hands. Like the widow with only a jar of oil, like the boy with just 5 loaves and 2 fish, what seems insufficient in human terms becomes abundant in yours. So here again, I bring what I have, the ideas, the skills, the efforts, the prayers, the persistence. I lay them down, not with fear but with anticipation, knowing that what I release to you, you bless, break, and multiply. Lord, teach me to celebrate even the smallest signs of progress. Let me not dismiss incremental growth while waiting for major breakthrough. Let me honor each new client, each new opportunity, each dollar earned with gratitude. Help me resist the temptation to compare my journey to someone else's. For what you are building in me is unique. I do not want their path, their pace, or their portion. I want what you have crafted for me and me alone. I want the story that glorifies you from beginning to end. And I ask you again to purify my motives. If there's any selfish ambition hiding behind my prayers for prosperity, root it out. If pride tries to attach itself to the work of my hands, burn it away. Let there be nothing in my pursuit of increase that draws attention to me, but instead redirects all eyes to you. Make me a mirror of your goodness, a vessel of your provision, a carrier of your glory. As you continue to bless the work I do, let favor go before me. Let my name be spoken in rooms I have never entered. Let my reputation be one of integrity and excellence, not because I seek approval, but because I seek to honor you. Let every email I send, every meeting I attend, every contract I sign, be touched by divine presence. Let every financial interaction become an opportunity for ministry, even in silence, even in the details. Let my spreadsheets be sanctified. Let my marketing carry anointing. Let every part of my business, job, or calling be consecrated unto you. And I lift up the unspoken needs now, those financial pressures I have not even voiced aloud, those silent prayers whispered through tears, those private burdens I have been afraid to bring into the light. I know you see them all. You saw them before I ever uttered a word. You care more than I can comprehend. So I bring them now to the altar of trust. I give them names. I surrender them, one by one. Whether it is the rent due next week, the looming debt, the tuition bill, the medical expense, the desire to give more, the dream to launch something new, I release them into your capable, loving hands. You are not intimidated by numbers. You are not limited by time frames. You are not overwhelmed by what overwhelms me. What causes me stress is already under your sovereign control. So I will not spiral into panic when a new bill arrives. I will not lose sleep over balances and budgets. I will steward what I have with diligence and faith, and I will rest in the knowledge that you are already working behind the scenes, moving pieces, opening doors, whispering my name to those who need to hear it. And if today it looks like nothing is changing on the outside, I choose to rejoice anyway. I choose to plant my praise like a seed in the soil of this moment, because I know what is happening beneath the surface. I know that faith is growing roots. I know that character is being formed. I know that obedience is preparing a platform for miracles. And so I will worship through the waiting. I will give thanks in the middle. I will believe in the face of delay. I ask you to fill me with fresh creativity. Give me divine solutions to everyday problems. Let business ideas spring up like fountains. Let inspired strategies be downloaded straight from heaven. Let my imagination be unlocked, not for selfish gain, but for kingdom impact. Show me how to multiply what I already have. Show me where to invest my time and energy. Give me clarity, focus, and energy to pursue the open doors you have prepared. And I ask for strength, Lord, not just the physical stamina to work, but the emotional strength to persevere when results seem slow, the mental strength to rise above discouragement, the spiritual strength to fight battles in prayer before they manifest in the natural. Let resilience rise in me. Let endurance be my anthem. Let courage replace fatigue. Let me be known as one who did not quit, one who stood firm, one who trusted when it made no sense, and saw the hand of God move in unimaginable ways. Let this season be marked not only by what I receive, but by who I become. Let the increase be internal before it is external. Let peace become my foundation. Let joy become my fuel. Let integrity become my compass. Let faith become my language. And let your word remain my source, not just for encouragement, but for direction, for wisdom, for power. You are building something holy here, Lord, something that cannot be stolen, shaken, or spoiled. something eternal, something real, something worth waiting for. And so I will keep building with you, brick by brick, prayer by prayer, seed by seed, until the vision you have placed inside of me becomes the testimony that brings others to their knees in worship, declaring, only God could be done this. And as I envision that future testimony, Lord, the one where every struggle turns into strength, every lack into legacy, I press in with even more conviction, because I know you are not just crafting provision. You are forming a vessel strong enough to hold it. You are preparing not just the miracle, but the heart to carry it with reverence. You are making me into someone who will know what to do with abundance when it arrives. Someone who will use blessing to lift others, not just self. So even now, as I pray into promises not yet fulfilled, I ask you to stretch my faith wider. Let my trust be bolder than my circumstances. Let my gratitude grow faster than my income. Let my dependence on you deepen, not lessen, with each new breakthrough. For I never want to graduate from grace. I never want to succeed in a way that causes me to forget where my help truly comes from. And I cry out again for purity in my motives. Search me, Lord, and know my heart. If there be any hidden greed, pride, or comparison lingering within, uproot it. I do not want to build for vanity. I want to build for eternity. Let my pursuit of provision never outpace my pursuit of holiness. Let my desire to receive never exceed my desire to reflect you in all things. May my life become a declaration of trust, not in money, not in systems, not in strategy, but in you and you alone. I thank you for being patient with me when I doubted, for being kind when I was frustrated, for being faithful even when my prayers were laced with fear instead of faith. You never left. You never gave up. You continued whispering truth into my weary heart. You kept inviting me to believe again, even after disappointment. And here I am, standing again because of your mercy, praying again because of your grace, hoping again because you planted the hope in me. And now I rise as a steward, not a struggler, as a giver, not a grasping hand, as a kingdom builder, not just a survivor of this world's systems. I declare that I am aligned with heaven's economy, not this world's instability. I operate under open heavens. I receive divine strategy, supernatural timing, and relentless favor. The windows of heaven are not closed to me, they are wide open, and the blessing that pours out will not be room enough to contain. So prepare me for overflow. Expand my mind to manage it. Expand my character to carry it. Expand my heart to share it. Let the overflow you pour into me never become stagnant, but flow like a river into the lives of others. I want my home to be a place where the hungry are fed, the weary are refreshed, the broken are restored. I want my finances to carry your fingerprints, to go where you send them, to do what you desire. Let my testimony become a torch. Let it burn bright in dark places. Let those drowning in debt see a way forward through what you do in my life. Let those who feel forgotten find comfort in the God who remembered me. Let my journey become someone else's reason not to quit, Because you are not just blessing me. For me, you are blessing to be a signpost of your goodness, a lighthouse for the lost, a spark that ignites faith in barren places. And I pray now for divine acceleration, not to bypass the process, but to align with heaven's urgency. Let doors open quickly where I have been faithful. Let what was delayed be released. Let what was blocked be made straight. Let this be a season where progress is not forced, but flows, where growth is not stressful, but steady, where favor surrounds every decision and clarity guards every step. I call forth increase not just of wealth, but of wisdom, not just of income, but of influence, not just of resources, but of revelation. Let my life carry a weight of purpose that shifts atmospheres. Let clients be drawn not just by what I offer, but by what I carry. Let every conversation be seasoned with grace. Let my presence bring peace into every room. Let the fragrance of Christ go before me in all I do. I surrender again. Lord, not just my lack, but even my abundance. Not just my pain, but also my praise. Not just my fear, but also my future. Everything I am, everything I have, everything I dream, it all belongs to you. So take it, break it if you must. Bless it, and send it out to accomplish what you have ordained. I will not hold back. I will not fear success. I will not fear failure. I will walk boldly, not because I am sure of me, but because I am sure of you. I will build when you say build. I will rest when you say rest. I will wait when you say wait. I will move when you say move. For your voice is my compass. Your presence is my security. Your promises are my foundation. Let nothing in my life be wasted, not my past pain, not my present questions, not my future hopes. Use it all, Lord. Use every lesson, every tear, every moment of surrender. Let it all become a part of the masterpiece you are writing with my life. A masterpiece that declares to the world, my God provides, my God restores, my God is faithful beyond imagination. And so, Lord, as I surrender every detail into your hands, I begin to feel the weight of pressure lift, replaced by the sacred weight of glory. Not the kind of heaviness that burdens, but the kind that grounds me, rooting me in the truth that I am being carried by a power greater than my limitations, guided by wisdom older than time, and sustained by love that has no conditions. Your presence wraps around my life like a divine covering, and in that covering, I find rest from striving, clarity from confusion, and peace that this world cannot offer. Let peace saturate every space where fear has tried to live, every crevice of my heart that once trembled at the sight of a bill. Every moment I hesitated to dream again, every calculation I made in panic. Erase them, God. Replace them with the assurance of El Shaddai, the all-sufficient one. You are the God who meets needs before I can name them. You are the God who funds vision, not just survival. You are Jehovah Jireh, not just in theory, but in power. Not just in church services, but in living rooms, in bank accounts, in grocery store lines, in the deadlines of life that stare us down. Let me see you, Lord, in the ordinary. Let me find you in the waiting. Let me hear you in the quiet moments when no doors have yet opened. Let me trust that the silence does not mean absence. It means you are still working, still weaving together a story far bigger than I can comprehend. You are not just creating provision for today. You are laying the foundation for generational blessing. You are breaking the cycle of lack in my bloodline. You are redefining legacy by what you birth through my obedience. Let the work of my hands be fruitful, but let the soil of my heart be even more so. Let me not only earn well, but live well deeply. Intentionally, joyfully. Let laughter be found around my table. Let music rise in my home. Let generosity be my lifestyle, not just my reaction. Let me be the kind of person who sows freely, not just from overflow, but from the faith that knows you will always refill what I release. God, make me bold, not reckless, but righteous in my boldness. Let me take steps that challenge my logic, but align with your leading. Let me follow you into places I would not have chosen. Because you see the end from the beginning. If you say launch, I will launch. If you say give, I will give. If you say rest, I will rest without guilt. Let my obedience be immediate, joyful, and complete. And Father, as you continue to refine my perspective, teach me to see money not as a measure of value, as a tool for kingdom work. Let me steward it with excellence and intention. Let me build things that outlast me. Let me fund dreams that were too big for others to believe in. Let me carry vision that feeds the hungry, shelters the forgotten, and empowers the overlooked. Let my wealth be holy, not just because of what it accomplishes, but because of how it was earned through faith, prayer, diligence, and humility. I open my heart again to the miracles I once thought were reserved for others. I take my place, not as a bystander in the crowd, but as a child of the King. I will no longer apologize for believing big. I will no longer water down my prayers to fit the limits of what others can understand. I serve a limitless God, and I refuse to pray safe. Small prayers when you are inviting me into partnership with the impossible. So, let the impossible become my normal. Let divine reversals interrupt cycles of defeat. Let sudden favor shift years of delay. Let one yes from heaven do more than 1,000 efforts in the flesh. Let your hand rest on me in a way that I cannot explain, but others cannot deny. Let every testimony of provision become a doorway for others to believe again. Even as I sleep, Lord, work. Let ideas marinate in the night. Let strategy unfold in my dreams. Let divine connections be made without striving. Let phone calls be placed while I am at rest. Let clients seek me out, not just for what I offer, but for what I carry: peace, excellence, and the presence of God. Let the favor that surrounds me go ahead of me, preparing hearts, unlocking minds, removing barriers. And when the fruit comes, when the deals are signed, the funds are released, the provision flows, let me not forget. Let my first response always be worship. Let my first expenditure be gratitude. Let my first instinct be to sow back into the kingdom that carried me through the wilderness. Let every gain bring glory. Let every increase deepen humility. Let the praise on my lips rise, even higher than the balance in my account. May I never become numb to the miracles. May I never take for granted the grace built every brick of what I am standing on. May I always remember that what others see as success began in surrendered prayer. That what the world applauds as achievement is really the result of mercy, obedience, and divine orchestration. And even now, I pray for the next phase. I do not need to know what it looks like to say yes. I do not need a blueprint to take the next step. I only need to hear your whisper. So speak, Lord, I am listening. Lead, I will follow. Reveal, I will respond. Pour out, I will carry. Send, I will go. You can trust me with more, because I trust you with everything. Let this moment be a divine transaction, not just where I ask, but where I receive. Not just where I plead, but where I proclaim. I do not just want to pray for provision. Lord, I want to walk in it. I want to live in it. I want to become the testimony that others point to when they wonder if you still provide. I want to become the evidence of a God who does not lie, does not forget, and does not fail. And as I position myself to be that living testimony, Lord, I ask you to solidify within me a deeper sense of calling, not just to receive blessing, but to embody the blessing itself. Let me walk as someone who carries the aroma of heaven into every boardroom, every hallway, every transaction, and every relationship. Let the people who cross my path feel the weight of your peace before a word is spoken. Sense the excellence of your spirit before business is even discussed. Let the way I handle money, time, and people reveal not just competence, but Christ-likeness. Train my hands for stewardship, not just ambition. Refine my goals so they mirror your values. If there is anything in my heart that still chases status over substance, root it out. If I have hidden insecurities that seek affirmation through financial success, expose them with light and heal them with truth. I do not want to build towers that glorify me. I want to build altars that point to you. Altars of thanksgiving. Altars of radical obedience. Altars that remind me that every dollar, every opportunity, every success is just another brick in the temple of praise I am constructing with my life. And Lord, I lift up my inner world, the part of me no one sees, the emotions I try to hide while I smile in public, the doubts that creep in when progress feels slow, the exhaustion that sometimes follows my attempts to hold it all together. Breathe on those places. Revive what is tired. Rebuild what is broken. Strengthen the spirit within me so that I am not only externally blessed, but internally whole. Let the breakthrough begin not in my bank account, but in my mindset. Transform how I think about worth, about wealth, about work. Align my internal reality with the truth of heaven. Let me be someone who rejoices when others are blessed. Remove any residue of jealousy, of comparison, of competition. I bless every friend, every stranger, every coworker walking in provision right now. I declare over them, may it multiply. May their increase bring revival. May their success shake systems and elevate others. And I trust that as I celebrate what you are doing in others, I make room for what you are preparing for me. Teach me to live in rhythm with your grace, not in the exhausting cadence of this world's grind. Let my spirit rise with you in the morning and rest with you in the evening. Let there be peace in the pacing, purpose in the pauses, and wisdom in the work. I do not want my life to be a blur of activity. I want it to be a garden of fruitfulness, fruit that lasts, fruit that feeds, fruit that nourishes others with hope. And I pray for divine discernment. God, in every opportunity that comes, help me distinguish between what is good and what is God. Not all open doors are ordained. Not all growth is healthy. Not all applause is alignment. Give me eyes to see beyond the surface. Give me ears to hear beyond the noise. Let me move only by your prompting, even when it defies logic, even when others question it. I will trust your voice above all others, even above my own. Let this life of mine be lived out loud in faith, not just in the safety of church, but in the pressure of daily decisions. Not just in moments of worship, but in the mechanics of business. Not just in giving to the poor, but in managing the profit. Every cent is sacred. Every opportunity is spiritual. Every moment is ministry. Help me to live that truth fully. Let me not forget where I came from. Lord, let me not become so surrounded by success that I lose the humility that once drove my prayers. Let me never forget the nights I cried out to you, the mornings I fasted in hope, the seasons where every meal felt like a miracle. Those moments are not shameful, they are sacred. They are the stones I will stack as reminders of your faithfulness. Reminders I will share with my children and grandchildren. Look what the Lord has done. I speak now over every unfinished dream, every idea that is still a scribble on paper, every prayer request written in journals and tucked away for fear of disappointment. I speak resurrection. I speak momentum. I speak favor. Let the wind of your spirit breathe over dormant places. Let courage rise where timidity once ruled. Let hope reignite like a holy fire. And I won't wait until the manifestation to praise you. I will do it now. I won't wait for the bank account to overflow before I dance. I won't wait for the doors to open before I testify. I want to wait for the perfect picture before I say, God did it. I say it now, because faith sees the invisible, celebrates the intangible, and believes when sight is still blind. And that is the kind of faith I want to carry, faith that makes the invisible real, that turns waiting into worship, and turns the impossible into inheritance. Father, I speak over my future with authority. I declare I will not be limited by my past. I will not be imprisoned by fear. I will not be held back by lack. The ceiling has been shattered. The doors have been unlocked. The time of just enough is over. I step into the season of divine overflow, not just of money, but of meaning, not just of profit, but of purpose. Not just of transactions, but of transformation. And every success that comes, let it come with peace, with clarity, with integrity, with deep joy. Let it never become a substitute for you, but a tool to bring you glory. Let it never become a distraction from your voice, but a confirmation of your presence. Let every new level be matched by deeper humility, and every expansion of influence be rooted in greater love. And so, with every word lifted in faith, every tear shed in surrender, and every dream laid down in trust, I thank you, Lord, for hearing the cries of our hearts. I thank you for being a God who not only sees but responds, who not only listens but moves, who not only promises but provides. You are faithful beyond measure, generous beyond comprehension, and good beyond description. To every soul who has joined in this prayer, thank you. Thank you for standing in faith, for believing even when it is hard, for choosing hope when fear tries to speak louder. If this prayer has touched your heart, I invite you to share it. Let someone else be reminded that they are not alone. Let someone else hear that breakthrough is possible, that provision is coming, and that God is still in control. Together, let us flood the world with faith. Together, let us believe for miracles. Together, let us walk in the fullness of God's provision, not only for ourselves, but for the generations to come. Thank you for praying with me. May God bless you abundantly in every area of your life.